Well, I'm going to try this again. My phone just turned off for no reason. Well, I'm going to talk about people that mistake kindness for weakness. Every time I just try to be kind to someone, it usually turns around and bites me in the ass. I don't know why that is, but it is. And sometimes at my age, I just forget and quit trying to be that way. But it's always been in my nature to be kind and considerate to others. Let's see. What's my thing? Oh, yeah. You know the old rule: don't never loan money to friends or relatives. If you do give them something, don't ever expect it back, because you ain't getting it back. But no, a lot of people mistake being kind to somebody, considerate of somebody, as a weakness. I recently, look at my hand. I recently got a comment on my channel, and it was about how come I don't sell my jewelry or whatever. And well, first I wouldn't know how to do it. 7 hours and 25 minutes is what I got last night. That's good. I wouldn't know how to do it. I wouldn't know how to price it. And I wouldn't want to insult people by trying to get too high on it, because some of them stones are pretty expensive. I ended up usually giving it to friends and relatives. I used to paint a lot. I used to get so damn many shitty-ass troll comments that I still paint. Now, don't get me wrong, but I just don't show it on the channel no more. I paint when I'm in the mood. I paint what I want to some people. I painted a painting that it's been a while back that I probably wouldn't show in public. Not that it's obscene or anything else, but it's about slavery. And it was basically a slave master beating a slave with a cat of nine tails, they used to call it, a big old bullwhip looking thing. And I worked on that thing, and I worked on it, and I got it. And the first person to see it said, "Oh, that's horrible." Not that the painting wasn't good, it was just a horrible scenery. But it was reality. And I did that because that was back in Martin Luther King days when they was marching. I thought, well, they need to get more of reality of what happened. And so I painted that painting. I don't know whatever happened to it. Probably left it in one of them old houses I own. It might be surplus years from now. But no, like I said, people didn't. I had so many people saying bad things about the paintings. I still paint them. I paint flowers, scenery, portraits. But I just don't put them on the channel no more. And I think that's probably what I'll do with my jewelry. I use my medicine boxes and another frame I'm going to make a ring out of. Like I said, I didn't realize I was irritating people by making jewelry. This one woman, she was a little hateful. I thought, oh well, what the hell. So you just gonna get me talking for a while. But don't never mistake kindness for weakness, because most kind people are some of the strongest people you will ever run across. That's the truth. And don't never be unkind just because you want to make yourself think you're a more stronger person. You know what I'm saying? No, don't never do that. I'll tell you this story. I love to tell stories. I had this boss. His name Sonny, and I ain't gonna give you his last name. But anyway, I was always happy and cheerful, and no matter what day it was, or so on and so forth, I was always cheerful. And he said, "Well, I'd like to know what color the sky is in your world." And I said, "It's always bright and shiny with rainbows." And he sort of irritated me that day, and I just flat told him because I didn't give a shit anymore. I said, "Sonny, you're a prick here at work, and this is the main boss." And I said, "I can almost guarantee you're a prick at home." And I wasn't worried too much about getting fired because basically he didn't have nobody that had a doctorate that wanted to work for his damn dumb ass. And besides that, he'd have to do a hell of a lot of explaining if I walked off the job. But I meant it. I said, Sonny, I said, you can't act like, like you're doing, and people to even respect you. You've got to, well, one day, like I said, his attitude and being a prick, or stupid ass is what I call it, it bit him in the butt. Bit him in the ass. He called one of the main secretaries up front, something, anyway, called her a bitch. And of course she complaint on his ass. Well, he ended up getting fired because he was an asshole, and even his bosses didn't like too much what he was, how he runs shit. But they tolerated him until he started calling some of the employees names. And that was one name they didn't forgive, was calling that secretary a bitch. So they fired his ass. But before that ever happened, back when me and him got into it, where I told him that he was a prick, I said, "You're a prick here at work and you're a prick at home." And I said, "It won't be long before, your wife will realize that, you're not the person she married or the person she wanted to stay with." And and I said, "She'll leave." And sure enough, his wife was in the process of leaving when he called the secretary a bitch. She took his farm, because he had a little farm, and his 2 children, and basically he ended up paying child support and everything else, and she found somebody else, I heard years later, that was kind and considerate to her. But he lost every damn thing just because he was a prick. So don't ever change your attitude for your employee. You might tolerate him or this, that, and the other, but like I told him, when I said, I'm not going to change who I am just to satisfy, you. I'm not going to end up being evil, wicked, and hateful just because you are. That ain't me, and that ain't the way the way I was made up. But anyway, don't ever mistake kindness for weakness. I gotta call I'm not going out and paying the water bill. I just call it in and let them take out. They charge me $3 on the bill just to pay it online. But anyway, I was sort of like, well, okay, I don't really know how I'd sell jewelry. I don't know how I would price it. And that ain't why I make it. I keep myself busy. That's my main objective. I journal. I make books. paint paintings, make jewelry. I'm into making jewelry right now. But I just basically stay busy. I can't go camping, can't go out because of the COVID. It's rainy, it's cold, damp. That tears my arthritis up. So I just been, like I said, making stuff, staying busy. But and basically, I'm writing in my medicine box, showing people on YouTube, you can do things yourself. Never think that, oh, I can't paint or I can't draw. Yeah, you can. You just need to spend more time at it. Same way with making jewelry, showing people how to make stuff. It ain't the idea of you can do anything you want to. Hell, some of you women can probably do better than men because you got more patience. I never had patience around children. They always made me nervous. Like, go away, here's $10, go down, go to the damn show and leave me alone. Go to the theater. But a lot of people, they just want to rule and they don't know where you're coming from. Like I said, there is people on here that sells products, that sells the jewelry, the RB Deb. If you want to buy some jewelry, go to RB Deb's channel. She got plenty of that crap. And she needs it for her income. She needs it to make a living. So, and I'm sure she'll take custom orders. There's a plug for her channel. Not that I wouldn't, make something for somebody, but I don't know how to do a lot of stuff that, Now, when I run a business, this, that, and the other, yeah, when I was trained in this, that, and the do, yeah, I know how to charge for that, but just piddling around the house, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I have no idea. Try to learn how to make an adjustable ring where it can be big ring or a little bitty tiny ring. Yeah. I learn things. I like to learn new things. My ice machine just went off. Like I said, I used to watch a lot of preppers. Well, Forrest trust anybody 100%? No, I don't. But I have to live with my government. Do I trust my government 100%? No. I've seen too much bullcrap. But it is our government, I have to respect it. Do I trust it? Not 100%? No, I don't trust nothing 100%. But respect, yes. I believe in, democracy. I believe that the government is for the people, not government to rule the people, but it's supposed to be in sync with what the people want. A majority rules is the way I always looked at it. And that the way you rule is with morals, good sense, and good judgment. Especially double up on the morals. Honesty, stuff like that. But I quit watching a bunch of preppers because they were just like, okay. They're like, I don't know. They went to the dark side, let's put it that way. And I just didn't want to go there, so I said, but I believe you should be a prepper. You should put stuff back. It's like I've got 10 tons of dried product. Now, will I ever use all of that? No. But if it hits the fan, I might help my neighbors out from starvation or something. You know what I'm saying? My relatives. Make life easier on our little community. I'm community-based. Most preppers are selfish and they're just looking out for themselves, maybe a few other people. No, that ain't the way you're supposed to do it. Society will not grow if you just go and live in a cave by yourself. Well, you're not going to propagate, you're not going to prosper, anything else. Then you read that deal about in the Bible where he gave 10 people, I think it was, $1 a piece or something. So they did different things with the coin, with the money. But that's why I stepped away from being, showing a lot of prepping stuff. I think you should have stuff to make it, extra, like propane or a grill or something to cook on if your power goes out, or a generator if your electric goes out. And then the other thing was RVing. Well, some of these RVers, they just want to mooch and beg and run out there and, I'll go to YouTube channel, you got to give me $1,500 and I'll have a hangout. Well, yeah, that's using people. I'm not a user. Usury is even forbidden in the Bible. I believe that's why they decided to get rid of the Knights Templar, was for usury. But no, I thought about what that woman said. I thought, well, okay, I just can't show you no jewelry because you decide you don't want. You think I should do this, that, and the other with it. Well, I do what the hell I want to. I'm living long enough to. If I want to do something, I'll do it. As long as it don't hurt or bothers, try to control someone else, or harm someone else. I ain't gonna do that shit. Hell, I'm close to going to see my maker. Hell, it's too bad. I'm not going to change horses in the middle of a damn race. That'd be so hard. That's against my nature. You got to stay with your nature, and then you got to improve your nature. And you go say, well, what do you mean by improving your nature? Well, you know how the Buddhists strive for nirvana, or I think it's the word I'm using. In other words, they believe that you strive for perfection in every life, that you lived. You know what I'm saying? Till you reach nirvana or perfect, being perfect. I forget the word, I can't remember it. But it's the same way in your life, in being a Christian, and I'm not a Christian, I'm a child of the living God. I don't like the word Christian because I'm not like Christ. I would like to strive to be like Christ, but I'm not like Christ. Meaning that I'm not good as Christ. There's only one Christ. But, and besides that, God never called you. He called you a child of a living God. So that's what I would call myself. With all the impurities and mistakes that children make. But you're supposed to get better year after year after year, kinder, more control, more, used to be a better person, That's what you got to strive for, a better human being. And when you find yourself drifting off from your goals of being perfect, because that's what Christ Jesus was perfect, then you need to strive yourself back or realign yourself back to getting back to being perfect. Because you'll never be perfect, but you got to strive for it. At least try. And I thought to myself, you can make this stuff yourself. You can do this yourself. And what are you doing? Are you just, go get an interest or a hobby or whatever. I think I did say being in their hobbies, but women have hobbies too. But you can do this stuff yourself. A lot of women do it, make jewelry. Like I said, I wouldn't know how to go about selling any of it. But there is a woman that R.B. Dead that does sell it. She needs some money for her livelihood. And that's just one of, excuse my hiccups, one of thousands of people that makes jewelry. You can look on Etsy and buy anything you want, or eBay, or your buy's good. Hell, they got all kinds of shit. Now, like I said, I was asking for old jewelry, yeah, because I want to stay busy. There's a woman said, well, I couldn't give you none of my jewelry. It's expensive. Well, I said, I told her, I said, she's a good friend. I said, I don't want expensive stuff. I want to take something that you really want to throw out and give to Goodwill or to trash and try to make something else out of it. That's like a friend of mine. I love her to death. She takes old magazines and makes journals out of them. She just had a video up. And that's the kind of person I am. I like to take something somebody else wants to throw away or whatever, and then make something else out of it. Make something that that's pretty, or bring it back to life or something. That's what I do with a painting. You know, I buy my own canvas. I stretch my own canvas, or I'll buy old bad paintings at art school. They'll have you buy a $25 painting, canvas, and you'll paint something on it like a cat looks like hell, or some junky thing and it looks like shit. One was an L. That's what she drew, just an L, or whoever it was, just an L. Probably was her name. It was a curvy looking L. And I thought, well, that's, even though my name's Lucky, I thought, well, I don't keep the damn thing. I gessoed over it, painted white over it, and then painted the painting on top of it. Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, they used a lot. Hell, some Mona Lisa's painted on a board. I used to do sculpturing. I even done some bronze. Let's get the damn word but right. Sculpturing. You make a mold, reverse mold, and all this crap. You have to do blah, 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 until you get it all done. But I'm getting too old for that. I want simple stuff like make jewelry, paint a few paintings. I've even tried making quilts. My grandmother got me into saying everybody needs to learn how to sew. She had 3 boys, and she learned every one of them how to sew. And that was on hand sewing and the old trottle sewing machines. Hand foot pedal sewing machine. She showed me a bunch of different kinds of stitches. I still remember. She was quite a person. She was always saying that idle hands is a devil's workshop. In other words, just don't sit around and do nothing. Get your mind on something that's constructive. And that's why I make jewelry or paint paintings or do whatever. Make journals, make books. I made a few books. I have a bunch of junk jewelry up here that I'm going to do things with. Make some coasters out of it. Glue it all around. Cut them about that big around and make a coaster out of it. Put your pop on it. Do something. Learn to do something. Don't whine and complain to others because I'm bored. I ain't got nothing to do. Well, that's your own damn fault. Get up and do something. I've seen people be horse trainers or dog whisperers or whatever. I mean, find something you like, but don't change who you are. Don't become a prick or an asshole. That's what I'm going to say. Or a mean and cruel person. I'll get, a lot of people don't like my language, but the hell, in the Bible you can find every damn dirty word you want. You just got to learn how to read it. Yeah, I learned how to read Aramaic because I just wanted to learn it. Well, I know a little bit of Hebrew, but Aramaic and stuff is more of a symbol. It's like the writing, weird writing and this, that, and the other. Babylonian had a lot of the square letter writing. I did that. I studied 2.5 years in the first chapter and a half of Genesis just to figure out how creation worked. Didn't have nothing else to do. Then I thought about doing the whole Bible, and I thought, well, nah. I did write a couple of papers on it for myself, But what was his name? He put his commentary on every verse, and I gave that Bible to my sister. What was his name? Anyway, he's a famous preacher. But he put his commentary on every verse, what he thought it meant. Trouble of it is, he had to put it all in one book. After 2.5 years, a chapter and a half was filled about, 20 volumes of encyclopedias. My damn book would weigh 3,000 pounds. Because there's like the word love, there's like 7 or 8 meanings of the word love in Greek, and then Aramaic, Latin, so on and so forth. It's just like the word God. The word God, actually, if you take the word, if you really want to understand that book, which I shouldn't preach about it anyway, a lot of times when they're using the word God, you have to replace it with the word Spirit, because that's what he is. He's a spirit. So the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob meant the Spirit of Abraham, the Spirit of Isaac, and the Spirit of Jacob. And you say, ooh, that don't sound right. Well, wait a minute. God said David was a man after his own heart. If you really understand what God was, he was a spirit that wanted to inhabit you, to live inside you, and guide you through all the thicks and thins. Then you understand what he was. He was like the parasites in your eyes. But he wasn't a parasite. He was a kind and considerate being that wanted you to have a better life. He wants you to prosper and be rich and be famous or whatever you want, as long as it don't harm and to others. In other words, be kind. That's my motto: be kind and considerate to others. But I better shut up talking. But I was really concerned and hurt in a way that, I didn't make jewelry to be mean to others that wanted it. I just thought, I'll keep myself busy and show you what I make. Basically I better make me some walking sticks. And I'm going to put jewels on it, like the wizards. In fact, I've got a glass rod with jewels on it. It's supposed to be a magic wand. Bullshit. But anyway, I thought, well, I'll make me some walking sticks. I made me some a long time ago. Put turquoise and stuff on it. The next one I'm going to make a tall, if you're interested, if you guys watch the end of this, if you're interested in knowing how to make some beautiful walking sticks. Now, I ain't saying carve it with a knife or anything else. I'm saying I'll show you if you want to. I'll make me a DIY how to do something. And you can go to Ace or any of the Mize machine hardware stores and buy you a wooden dowel. And you can cut it any length you want, which is, you can cut it with it. And then you can carve on it with one of them little electric drills that you can buy at Harbor Freight for $14-15. They're not expensive. You can take some of these old fake jewelry, or you can use real jewelry. I'm going to use real stones. Hell, I got one that's got a diamond in it. It fell out of the ring, so I just put it in a walking stick. I think I paid $1,200 for the diamond. But hell, it's pretty in my walking stick. You can buy walking sticks that, if you don't want to, I'll tell you where you can buy some good ones. Usually at Walmart's got some tall walking sticks. Got short ones too. Love's has got them. The big Love's filling stations has got there's a lot of places that's got walking sticks, and you can embellish what they've already got there. I've seen people wrap cord around it. I'm going to do some woven copper wire and gold wire and stuff and put some jewels on it. Mainly like make a wizard's staff, or what are you going to call it? Well, you know that Abraham had Moses had a staff. And he threw it down, it became a snake, and it swallowed up the other two Egyptian snakes. But I thought, I have to use a walking stick anyway, and I thought, well, I'll make me a beautiful one. With some real jewels in it. I got one that's a sword already. Well, I'm going to let you go. I want to know your idea. Should I just keep showing stuff or just do like I did today, just be boring as hell? Take care of yourselves. Don't change for others. Change for yourself and follow the rules of kindness and consideration for others. Take care. Have that great day and smile. God always loves you. No matter what your friends and relatives say and your acquaintances, take care.